So, for many, many years, a lot of people who are in the American Express game, anybody who has American Express cards, specifically these ones right here, they're charge cards, these high annual fee cards. Every single year, a lot of people on forums, Reddits, and whatnot, YouTube videos, we're all making predictions on what American Express is going to do next. And one thing is for certain, actually, two things are certain: death, taxes, and there's a third thing, and that is American Express is likely to add annual fees. And while everyone's kind of pontificating on what's going to happen, sometimes, and one thing that I've been having fun with lately is going right to the source. And so you could actually earn a lot of or gain a lot of insights just by looking at American Express's earnings call. They just had their earnings call this quarter, this morning. And one thing that I did last quarter for their last earnings call was I wanted to see what the CEO himself, Stephen Squeri, said about refreshes. And they actually talk about cards a lot in this quarter, and specifically about, I guess, not necessarily directly what refreshes are going to happen, but more on their philosophy, journal philosophy on, spoiler, how they're pretty much never going to stop refreshing the cards. A couple of people asked about his opinion on co-branded cards. They actually directly mentioned a competitor, that being Chase, who revamped all of their United cards, and actually asked the Amex's CEO on the ideas for that. Talked about talked about a couple of other things, kind of like the gold card and how they saw that whole refresh, and they saw it as being like an absolute amazing refresh. So a lot of insights that I think I found, or at least funny insights that I found through the earnings call. So I kind of want to do something a little different and share it with you live, so we can talk through next steps for American Express to see what's going to happen. So bear with me as I put this through. But first, I just want to say Mike Newland is in the house. What's poppin', Mike? I appreciate you, sir. Woodsy, what's going on, Woodsy? Kirby's here. Loving after work stream. Appreciate you being here. James V, Tony York, Juan Garcia, Mr. Lazy, our EU man, Jordan Rules for Credit. What's going on? And James. Okay. So I appreciate you all being here, and I thought this would be interesting. So let's see, because I actually had a few good laughs a little bit earlier going through this earnings call, and and I was excited about some of the things that he said. Not excited, but I was laughing at a couple of things, and actually surprised on a couple of things. And Ian says, "I'll be listing on the way. Drop off gold at FedEx. Let's go, Ian, the gold man." MR, Anthony Venture After School Special Edition. Hey man, listen, market just closed. All right, so the first thing I wanted to show you guys now. I'll do a quick test here. Just let me know if you hear this, if you can.
Airline billings growth. Billings in restaurants and lodging remain strong in the quarter.
Okay, can you hear that? I just need to know. We just got to do a little test here. And I have a little bullet points on, different spots to show you, because so some of it was a little funny to me. All right, ladies says we can hear it. Awesome. Chaz, 20 minutes is here. What's going on? Okay, we could do it. Cool. All right, let's do it. So the first one I wanted to showcase was what I showcased last time when I was, first really getting into these earnings calls, and I wanted to hear exactly like what they were doing on the acquisition side. Like, okay, are they, as much as all of us on Credit Card YouTube complain, despite all of our complaining, Amex still has like record numbers of acquisitions, meaning so many people are opening up cards every single quarter. So this is what he had to say, at least in regards to performance over the last quarter. So let's hear it here.
Here, we also continue to grow our customer base, adding 3.4 million new cards in the quarter. As in past quarters, Millennial and Gen Z consumers made up over 60% of new consumer accounts acquired globally in Q1. In addition, card fee growth was up 20% on an FX adjusted basis. Retention continued to be high, and our credit performance remained excellent. While it's still very early in the second quarter.
Okay, so so right then and there, that immediately, as MR says, Amex will always be hip. So in this quarter, they have added a record 3.4 million new cards. Do you know how insane that is? 3.4 new cards in just the last 3 months. And what we get into a little bit later is that majority of them are annual fee cards. Majority of them are cards that have annual fees every single year and attributed to their bottom line at the end of it. So that's like the first thing I like to look at. Is like, okay, they're still killing it. They're still just killing it, and they're just adding more and more cards constantly. The next thing they said was Gen Z and millennial were over 60%, which I thought was fairly interesting, but I guess that makes sense in what Imar says. It's just hip to be with American Express. And as I'm talking to more and more people who are outside of like the general credit card community, I'm just seeing more and more people talking about American Express, but not the people who are gamers like in this community. The next thing that I thought was interesting, so I'll actually skip over that. I won't even go into it. But one thing that they did mention is over time is, I guess, all of these Gen Z and millennial people who have acquired their cards, like a lot of us over the last 5 years, have grown in their incomes and have actually added to the higher spend for American Express cards. So it's like they've targeted these younger crowds, and now these younger crowds are getting older and getting wealthier and still spending on their Amex cards. So they're kind of killing it in that way as well. Let me skip to this part here where they mentioned, yeah, I thought this was interesting just to showcase where they mentioned how most of the members that are adding on now, I think it says 70% of card members are paying annual fees, which is actually kind of crazy. So let me see here.
On slide 12, reflecting our 27th consecutive quarter of double-digit card fee growth. And we saw strong demand for our products as we acquired 3.4 million new cards in the quarter.
Crazy.
A key driver of our strong card fee growth over the past few years has been the acquisition of new card members on fee-paying products, which accounted for around 70% of new accounts in the quarter.
So 70% of people, who have American Express cards, at least in this quarter, have added these 3.4 million. All were on I guess annual fee basis, all these cards. So like you said, green, gold, platinum, some of the co-branded cards, all of that. So I thought that was interesting, but more importantly, I thought this was funny because most of the time they really don't try to on these calls kind of reflect the competition, or at least almost kind of spell it out. But at least in this one, someone asked directly almost about Chase's. You guys saw the co-branded cards, all the United cards got a major refresh. And so someone kind of asked like their the CEO of Amex's I guess response to that. So let me see if I could have it pulled up. I think right here.
The next question is coming from Don Fandetti of Wells Fargo. Please go ahead.
Good morning. Steve, can you talk a little bit about card refresh and fee growth? I know one of your competitors recently raised fees on co-brand cards. In this environment, do you still feel like you have the ability to sort of grow fees?
I think that look, we're still committed to doing refreshes. We've refreshed over 150 products over the last 5 years or so. We've got a bunch of refreshes in progress. How many we wind up doing, we'll see how it all plays out. It's more due, I think. There's a lot of them in progress. The question becomes, how from a value proposition development, technology development, how they all get through the pipeline this year. But we're still committed to doing refresh. As far as raising fees, we don't raise fees indiscriminately. You raise fees when you add value, and our playbook has been, we will raise the fee when we raise value that is even more commensurate than with the fees. So as we think about refreshes, what I will tell you is that whatever fee we wind up raising, and look, the reality is we don't do a lot of refreshes without raising the fees, but we also don't do any refreshes without significantly enhancing the value that we put in.
So you guys agree with that? Okay, so everybody here, we got 70 people here. You guys just heard him. He said that we don't refresh ever without adding annual fees, and we certainly don't refresh without adding annual fees and adding extra value. Now, we've been through a lot of refreshes the last, at least together on YouTube the last few years, but even back, from 2019 and stuff like that, from the green card, which I won't show it, but he talked about like navigating, shutdowns and other, crazy things and still having refreshes. So what do you guys think? Have they always added value every time there's been a refresh. So what do we have recently? We had the MS Gold card that raised from 250 to 325. We got, Resi credits, we got Dunkin' credits, we got all these different things. The Delta cards, I think, did a really great job. I think the Delta card revamp, where they raised annual fees, but like made that companion pass a little bit more easily accessible. Added some hotel credits, some other type of rideshare credits. I think the Delta refresh was largely positive. I would also say, honestly, the Hilton card lineups were very positive as well. The only thing that kind of sucks is like Surpass lost Priority Pass, but I think largely all the Hilton refreshes have been pretty good. But do you guys think that they actually did, a good job with that? That's the question. But it seems that everybody loves it anyway. And I thought it was interesting. He said we refreshed 150 products over the last 5 years. Pretty wild. Amar says the Dunkin' Donuts credit is a bit of a joke. And Bill Wright says we learned he must really like Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, so Philip says, I actually kind of disagree. Dunkin' credit gives me hope because it appears to be accepted that you can store value with it. Hoping that extends to other future credit changes as well. Yeah, definitely. James says Surpass got removed. That was not a good choice. I guess you made the Priority Pass. Got removed. Yeah, that's it definitely hurts some people. So I thought that was interesting. Now another thing. Now this was like the most interesting thing out of this whole call. I feel before there was some funny things he said later where I felt like he was a credit card YouTuber. A little bit later, but he actually goes into like the general philosophy of American Express, and this is like the most important thing I think because it's his philosophy on why they will continue to raise annual fees basically indefinitely throughout the lifespan of American Express as a company, for their credit cards, I should say. And kind of confirming what we've said over the last couple of years, like, oh, they have these 4 or 5 year cycles, like what was it, the Platinum card refresh in like 2017, then 2021, and now we're theorizing 2025, something like that. So let me jump ahead to that point, and then we can talk more about some other Amex things that I'm doing recently. All right here.
The infrastructure, because you anticipate times may be a little bit tough. It has to continue because we're running this company for the long term, and anybody that's ever been involved in this realize you don't stop and start long-term projects. The other thing that you don't stop and start is you don't stop and start your refresh strategy. I mean, we have been committed to continually enhancing and developing our products and services over the long term, and we're on a program that basically says we're going to refresh all of our products, and I'll put all in quotes, from a 3 to 4 year cycle. And so,
bam. I mean, that's right. That's the roadmap. I mean, that's the roadmap right there. I mean, it's kind of what we've put together right over time, but I never actually heard him say in such clear English, here's our roadmap. We're following our plan of refreshing every, 4 years, something like that, between a lot of their products. And like you said, 150 products over the last 5 years. So it's like, if you're somebody holding out that American Express is not going to raise annual fees, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not going to happen. Especially the fact, I mean, look, you didn't even need him to say that, to be honest, because if inflation is going up, as it has done, and maybe it's a little bit of tumultuous times right now, but as it has done, everything's going to go up over time, including your credit card annual fees. So no matter what, but it's funny to hear him directly say, like, we're never going to stop because that's our roadmap. And rightly so. They're still killing it, right of a lot of acquisitions as well. One part of that, though, and I guess he kind of like goes on a bit of a rant, but a little bit later, someone asks him about the economy. People are saying, well, we're going to be possibly going into a recession, job loss, devaluations around the board. Do you think you're going to refresh your cards, or in spite of raising annual fees in spite of the economy kind of hurting? So I thought this was also a little bit telling. I believe it starts right around here. So this is his response to, like, oh, the economy's going down. Are you still going to refresh? It's funny how many people like talked about refreshes on this call. So let's see.
Refresh strategy. You called out about 30.
Let me go back a little.
Hi, thank you. Good morning. Maybe to just follow up on your comments around the refresh strategy. You called out about 35 to 50 planned product refreshes for this year, last quarter. And I get that you want to invest in the long term and you don't want to stop the refresh strategy, but just given that there's so much macro uncertainty and maybe potential uncertainty around the ROI of those refreshes, do you kind of adjust or delay some of those until there's more clarity? And what does that mean for your marketing budget for the year? Thank you.
Yeah. So at the moment, no changes to the marketing budget at all. I don't think, the refresh itself, when you're looking at the refresh, I think that, as I said before, we haven't stopped refreshes in the face of, even the pandemic. I mean, we were working through our platinum refresh at that particular and green at that particular point in time, and also working on others behind the scenes, because as I've said before, refreshes don't happen overnight. Years ago we got a lot of credit for reacting to the Chase Sapphire, but it's something that we started 9 to 10 months ago. So no, we're not going to stop the refresh strategy. I don't think that from an ROI perspective, there would be what, as I would say, a reason to do that. As we go to acquire cards, we look at where the credit box is at that particular point in time. So we'll see. But that's these refreshes happen over a period of time, so it's hard to stop them once they're in progress, and I think we have a lot of confidence once they're done to put them out into the marketplace.
And then I'll jump ahead a little bit here too. So again, just basically steamroll ahead. We're never stop. No matter what the economy does, we're going to keep raising annual fees over time, as long as they can provide more value with time. A couple of funny things where it seemed like he was talking like a credit card YouTuber. And these are the last points before we get back to everybody. Yeah, right, James. He mentioned Chase. I was like, sometimes they will, but sometimes they try to leave it out, which is funny. So this is the CEO of Amex acting like a credit card YouTuber right here. He talks about the gold card, and then I'll skip ahead and he talks about FHR, Fine Hotels and Resorts. So let's see. I think it's gold.
Could further help capture that Gen Z millennial base.
Well, millennials and Gen Z are spending way more in restaurants from a transaction perspective than any other cohort that we have. And if you just look at the refresh strategy, look at what we did with gold. I mean, gold could have been renamed the restaurant card. Between the rewards accelerator, the Resi credit, and the global dining, the collection. I think, look, you go back to the acquisition of Resi, you go back to the acquisition of Top, you look at Rome. All three of those things are really targeted at, sort of trying to build a moat around the restaurant industry, not only from a card member perspective, but also from a restaurant perspective. I mean, it is a microcosm of our closed loop, right? When you think about what we've done with Resi and Talk, and then as we integrate the Rome capabilities in, it's a closed loop within a closed loop, and I think that's something that's really appealing to our restaurant customers, and it's also appealing to our card members, and especially millennials and Gen Z. Look, we'll look for other verticals where that makes sense. Look, one would argue that the other verticals where it does make sense with our travel business is also with with lodging and with airline, right? I mean, if you think about it, look at the Platinum card and being able to book through Platinum Travel Services. It's another example of a closed loop within. And when you look at the Platinum card value proposition, with Fine Hotels and Resorts, it is really a way to provide value, especially to our younger customers. I mean, when you book a Fine Hotel and Resort, the value proposition there is pretty good, right? I mean, it's early check-in, late checkout, upgrades, free breakfast, $100 credit. So that's another example of where we're connecting our card members with our partners from a hotel perspective, and obviously we've been doing that with airlines for years. So I think when you think about
Yeah. So is the CEO, has he been watching my videos? Has he been, has he been following the script? Because I mean, he knows that too well. I mean, come on, Amex FHR, $100 credit, you get daily breakfast, late checkout. I mean, he's, so I just found that really funny how he was kind of getting right into it. I mean, I could play that video on a YouTube channel, and it would do well, if himself was doing it. Artie says your video on not closing the gold card is embedded in an Amex article on MSN Finance today. Is it really? Oh my God. Well, I know that MSN takes my videos, and not by force, but they said they pay me to put the videos on there, so they just like auto put it in there, and they give me like ad revenue. So I wonder if that's actually my video, or it's like a separate article with American Express. It's interesting. Artie, James says he sounds like a YouTuber, like you mentioned. Yeah, he really does. So that was the earnings call. So let me actually close this out, or I guess I could just get rid of this, right? So that was the earnings call. So what do you guys think about the earnings call? Are you surprised? Are you not surprised? I think nobody should be surprised. All he's really saying is that in the last quarter, we've still seen record growth, 3.4 million cards. We're still 70% of the people who are getting cards are paying annual fees. That's paying our bottom line. They don't really care about the co-brand refreshes, it seems. And their general philosophy is every 4 years, they're going to be refreshing their cards, going to be adding annual fees. And we know that he really loves the gold card as a restaurant card, and he loves FHR. that's pretty much that's the gist of it. That's pretty much the gist of it. As Kirby says, nothing crazy. James, you nothing really exciting about it. Yeah, and I think it's one of those things that we're just gonna, it's going to be that thing every single quarter. Same exact thing. Okay, we're still following the strategy. I just thought it was so funny how many people, because I listened to the last one too, so many people on this one asked about refreshes, and I'm surprised they care that much. I guess I guess they said a large portion of the consumers they have are paying annual fees. So I guess that affects a lot of their earnings more than I guess a lot of other things, since they don't rely on like lending fees for the most part, and like some of these other banks. But as Kirby says, Amex profits go over. So what have I done in retaliation of this? And so what I decided to take a stand, for everybody who's been paying Amex annual fees, and I wanted to kind of tip the balance a little bit. And so I've done something that I've never done before, at least since I've been in the credit card game. And once I got my, Amex credit cards in the first time, and I no longer here, I'll even, I'll present it in a nicer way. I'll present it in this way. Put it this way. I no longer own a platinum, a gold, or a green card. That's right. I no longer have any membership reward point earning card. They're all gone. They're either been canceled or downgraded. And I have recently done something I talked about pretty much a lot last year. And so I ended up downgrading my gold card down to my green card. And as of just a few days ago, I downgraded again the green card. Some of you don't even know that exists, but you can downgrade typical Amex green card to what's considered the traditional green card. And I've showed this on camera a good amount, but I always like to let people know. But yes, there is another downgrade option, and that is the Amex traditional green. And by doing that, you're doing a few different things, and I'll talk about why. So as MR says, I remember your original microwave video about that card. Yeah, so it's back again. It's back. I now have it once again. Part of me just wanted to see if they still offered it, because it's been years since I've talked about it. A lot of people have gotten it themselves for the heck of it, and I was hoping it wasn't like nerfed or anything, but it's still available. It's literally, we still got it. And so I did it for a few different reasons. Kirby, oh god, wearing the gold card sweatshirt but no gold card. I know this. I'm gonna have to burn this shirt. We're gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to make a traditional green card shirt. So what's the deal with the traditional green card and why I decided to go for it? Well, one, this card, it's not for everybody. It's not for anybody. It's for one particular person, maybe just myself. But this card doesn't earn any membership reward points whatsoever. It's a $55 annual fee card, no MR points, which means at this point I have no cards to earn MR, which means I technically have nothing to anchor my American Express points. Now, I'm doing a test right now, and this was something that I believe Phil's, yeah, I think it was Phil who said this, or was it somebody else? When I did a live stream with him, because I asked the question, I was like, okay, so if you have no membership reward points cards, but you have an Amex business checking account, does that hold your membership reward points? And he said yes, if that was Phil or whoever I was talking to. But he said yes, that is the case because that person, they said their, like their wife has a member, a Amex business checking account and has the points. And so I wanted to just actually do it myself to test it as somebody who has all the Amex cards, has some points, but now shifted to having no MR cards and it disappeared. So as of right now, I don't know where the points are or where to look for them, to be honest. I have to sign into my Amex Business Blueprint account. But Ian says, and he's confirming here, it does hold the points. Okay, so that's good. So okay, so that was Phil. Yeah. We got 30K of chance points transferred to Air France. So that was the most interesting thing to me, is that you got 30K points from the Amex Business checking account, and you were still able to access the transfer partners like Air France and transfer them over. That's crazy. Phil, I got to ask you, where did you find that? Because I was looking like 5 minutes before I went on. I was like, where the hell is I couldn't find it in my Amex Blueprint, and I don't see it anywhere else. But so I guess for everybody who doesn't have an Amex Business checking, like, just a forewarning, if you don't have an Amex Business checking and you do this and you don't have any, MR earning cards, you will lose all of your Amex points. So don't do that. The reason why I chanced it, even though I kind of generally knew because Phil told me that I can use my business checking, is because I spent all my Amex points. All of them. Absolutely all of them. I actually, maybe not all, but I had 68 points left. 68 points that I could have used. And I was willing to give that up for the test, but it seems like it's not even a test anymore. It seems like it's fine, as Ian and Phil says. And part of why I also did that is, well, one, I wanted to see if it was possible. I thought it would make for some good content, but also because I don't want to pay any annual fees right now. I'm conserving as much cash as possible as we're still, just adjusting to home life, even though we've been in the house for like 5-6 months now, something like that. And so, like, if I don't have to pay an annual fee, I'm not going to. And so when I got hit with that annual fee of $325 on the gold, I was like, I don't really want to pay $325. I don't really feel like it. So I downgraded to the green. And then I got hit with the $138 annual fee because it's prorated. And I was like, I don't really want to pay $138. So then I went back down to the traditional green. And now it's just a $55 annual fee. So what's the purpose of that too? The purpose of that is so that in the future, I never have to open up a new Amex card. Like, I don't have to reapply for a green, a gold, or a platinum should I ever want those cards again in the future. So what the traditional green essentially does is acts as a placeholder. And I've talked about this before, a placeholder for when a $55 placeholder. So this way you can preserve your 524 status in the future if you foresee yourself wanting the Amex card in the future. Saves you a hard inquiry, but who really cares about that? But then also, thirdly, which a lot of you guys who are in the community, that you can get upgrade offers. So I've never actually seen an upgrade offer for the traditional green to like go to the green and then so on and so forth. I think I've never, the most I've ever seen, which is funny, is they offered me a retention offer on this card. It was like spend 1,000 and get 7,500 points, but it wasn't even, now that I think about it, it wasn't even MR points because it doesn't earn that. So it was just like, random points. So the idea is, this is my placeholder. It's $55. I'll pay that every year. When the time comes, who knows when that comes, when I want to get maybe a platinum card again, or what have you, upgrade to the green. Okay, then I should get an upgrade offer from the green to the gold, over from what is it, like 2K spend for 30K MR points. And then you could also do it again at some point, down the line, where you can go from gold to platinum, get another 50K for 3K spend. And so, you can effectively get an extra 80,000 points, as we've seen from Sledge and Cesar and stuff like that. So that's why I'm kind of talking about it live too, and not necessarily like, videos for the most part. But again, that's a solid, strategy that anybody can employ, and there's no issues with the rules there, because you're literally just upgrading to a card as they give you offers. It's not talking about any other crazy tactics that some people employ, but at least for me, I figured save the, I guess in my case, 270 annual fees, or if it's, platinum, even more, 650. Have it as a placeholder. If the time comes where I need those cards again, just upgrade back, and you can get a bunch of membership award points all along the way on that upgrade path. So yeah, it feels a little weird to not have any Amex cards, especially like as Kirby said, like what the hell are we doing with the hoodie? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's the warmest hoodie out there. So what are you gonna do? So I have to. But yeah, I think it's a good move going forward, and I'm just kind of I'm just interested, because at this point I've used all of my Amex points. I think I've burned about 300,000 Amex this year. Well, if we count like a full 12 months, I probably burned close to maybe 400,000 membership reward points, I would say, because I ended up cashing out 100,000 for this MacBook. I ended up transferring probably close to, honestly, about 150,000, about 150,000, maybe more. Actually, it might have been closer to 200,000 for Hilton, because I booked a few nights in Italy for some Hilton hotels, and then that also got me to book 5 nights in Puerto Rico for the meetup. So, and I also transferred some. Where else did I transfer some? No, I think that actually might have been all of it. I think I did some stuff in the past, but not in the last, not recently. So with that, yeah, I'm bankrupt Amex, and I'm like, all right, we could leave that for now, and there might come a time. Like, listen, if that business gold offer comes around, spend 10K, get 200, maybe we'll go for it. Maybe we'll see. We'll see if that's doable. But for now, I'm not stressing it. But in the meantime, what I found is like, okay, there's some other plays to make in the meantime. Now, it doesn't mean I'm gone from American Express, because I have recently opened up 2 Hilton Surpasses for my wife and I. And that was actually one of the things I learned. I was like, okay, even though you're bankrupt in certain cases, I found that now that I have used so many, I'm like fighting to get the stash of points back. So also, like, if you just want like full numbers, which is kind of crazy, I don't even know. This is the most I've ever done in an entire year, and I'm just like, now I have to just wait for those trips to happen. But so far this year, we've burned about 1.5 million points across Chase, Amex, Hilton, Hyatt, about 1.5 million, and I don't even think we're done, to be honest. I think it's quite possible we reach 2, which would be crazy. But now I'm just thinking of all the different ways. I'm like, how do I get that back? How do I get that back? So in one way I'm getting it back is, I got the Capital One Venture. So the Capital One Venture, I think that's going to be great. I'm going to get the 75,000 bonus very soon. So that, that'll help for some transfer partners a little bit down the line. I'm kind of thinking about maybe it would be crazy, but possibly going for another ink card for my 5th one. I don't know. Wife is at 2. Maybe she can try and go for a 3rd. I think it's possible. But I'm also thinking of some alternate little methods too. Like I was thinking, I think I said it. Did I say it last time? Oh, I said it on somebody's stream. I think I asked their opinion. I forget who it was, but I was like, it was John. It was John's stream. And my brother-in-law is somebody who doesn't like to travel whatsoever, like at all. He's just not a traveler, and he actually hates hotels, which is kind of funny. And so he has been amassing a bunch of points because he loves the credit card game, but just for what it can give him, like in cashback. So he just got approved for the Chase Sapphire Preferred 100K offer. And so, once he hits that, he's going to have about 250,000 Chase points. So I'm like, well, for the time that it's a little bit harder to get some Chase points at the moment, now that we've kind of exhausted a lot of other avenues. I mean, there's nothing really stopping me. I mean, it's in my household. So like I can technically connect the accounts, or, him and, his sister, my wife, can connect accounts, and I could just pay him cash for, some of his points. So I threw that out there. I was like, if you ever not, in the future, if you're ever going to just like cash your points out, well, don't. I'll give you the 2,500 cash and just give me the 250,000 points. So I'm experimenting with that too. I'm like, I think that would be cool. And I don't have to like do anything for that. I just, obviously it sucks to pay cash for anything, but those 250,000 points, it will do so much more than 2,500 cash. So I'm just thinking about that. I'm also thinking about, now that I went so hard with Hyatt, I'm like, oh, maybe we can go back to Hilton. And I've just noticed out of nowhere, a bunch of Hilton deals just kind of came up, right? So I got the 2 Hilton Surpass cards, between my wife and I. So that alone will give us close to 300,000 Hilton points with 2 free night certificates. Took advantage of the Hilton timeshare offer, which we're going to be doing next month. That's 75,000 points. I bought another one for the wife, which hopefully that works out, but that's 100,000 points if it works out. And then, and I think that's I think that's everything. And then also, luckily, some great people. I don't know if you're in the chat, but if you use my Hilton referral, I got a couple recently, so that also helped out. So about 40,000 with the referral. So salute you guys. But I think I should, like, in the next few months, be able to amass like close to 500,000, maybe a little more, Hilton Honors points. Which again, that's gonna supplement some more stays. Which I didn't even have Hilton on the brain until I spent all of these damn points. So because Joe Barretto did a live stream the other day where he was like, or the other day, it was last night. We were on the community live, and people were like, he was like, I don't want to spend my millions, my 1 to 2 million credit card points. I don't want to do that. And he was like, do the points come back? And now that I'm going through it, I'm like, I think so, because now I'm just like scrambling. I'm just like, get me as many points as possible, force you to go into like crazy mode again. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, 100%. In fact, we just hit the Hilton Surpass bonus as well, as of yesterday, 2 days ago. So I think that's gonna be fun. Let me see. Let me stop ranting and raving. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Andy Bove says, just picked up my Uber Eats order for the month. Very nice. Enjoy that, man. Enjoy that. Davos says, downgraded all to the Credit One card. Yeah. Can you imagine if there was one lower than the Amex traditional green? You just revert to other issuers. Yeah, that'd be funny. James says, I plan on downgrading my Amex Delta Gold annual fee when time comes to a non-annual fee of Delta. So you're gonna try to go down to the blue. Hey man, yeah, it's kind of a similar style, right? Just downgrade it for until the future when you want to upgrade back, or you want a gold or a platinum or a reserve in the future, for sure. Filmel says, AV, you always have a place with us here at Amex. I mean, with them, not me. I don't work there. Them. Stupid. Ian says, why don't you have a BPP? Use my link. I know, I really should, right? I mean, everybody should have a Blue Business Plus. I don't know. I just never cared to get it. I probably could. I think partly is because I just never wanted to get the card and just not get the 75K offer. Because I saw, I think Ian, I think you found it, right? It was a no lifetime one, and it was 6K spend, and I think 75,000 membership reward points for the BBP. I was like, I would take that offer, but I wasn't targeted for it. So if that comes around, I'll probably get it just for the points. But yeah, otherwise I just don't want the 15K. It just seems like so little, so little. And then with the spend, I just don't really want it. Phil says, you have to push through a few rejection buttons in the menu, actually, but I persisted. Really, a few rejection buttons. I'm going to have to look at it afterwards, because I want to just see where the MR points are on the checking account, so I can just solidify it. But it's good to know. It's good to know that my, as Anthony Bovey says, 1 point away from being epic points balance. Yeah, my 68 points. If I had one more, we could have done big things, Although I actually wanted to say, so I tried to downgrade from my gold straight to the traditional green, and that's not possible. Which I theorized, but I never actually put into play until like the other day. But so you have to, if you want the traditional green, you have to go down to the green first, then you can go traditional green. And then some people, I actually went back to my original video on this a year ago. Somebody in the comments was like, because they were like, oh, I had a rep that said that it didn't exist, or like you couldn't do it. And then somebody commented like, oh yeah, because Anthony like made it up for the video or something, like just completely lied about it. I'm like, you literally see it in my hands. But the part of why I bring that up is like, sometimes you do need a different rep, because the rep I had a few days ago seemed a little less knowledgeable. And then the one I had the other day when I actually did downgrade to the traditional, they were like, oh yeah, immediately, bam, got it, and then it went, you went down to the card. So I just feel like it's a good choice for now. Especially since I didn't even mention, like, I mentioned on camera, but a lot of the places that I'm going to in the future for all these travels, they're not in line with any. I mean, technically they are, but I don't have to. But they're not in line with any of the lounges that I would care about, like via a platinum card, like Delta Sky Clubs. I'm going to be missing them. Centurion Lounge, I'm going to be missing them. I'm basically going to JFK, but I have access to Chase Lounge and the Emirates Lounge because we booked business class, and then I'm going to be flying from Charlotte to JFK, which does have some nice lounges, but we're not going to be there long. And then I'm also flying from there. Likely, I might change, but I might be flying from Charlotte all the way to Puerto Rico because they have a good, pretty cheap deal. I mean, it's economy ticket, but it's only a few hour flight for 12,500 Alaskan miles on American Airlines. So I'm like, I mean, what the hell? We got, we have 70,000 Alaskan miles. I could probably make some better use of it. So I'm just looking to see, but I'm like, worst case scenario, 12.5K for a round trip is pretty good. So I'll probably, I might end up doing that. Jake Earl says, what about personal checking? It earns MR points. Does it work as an anchor? I didn't really consider that, but I would assume so. I mean, if it earns MR, yeah, it should follow the same exact thing. There's no reason why the business checking earning MR and the personal checking earning MR should have any difference. So yeah, I would say it shouldn't have any difference. I guess technically you could also chat in to Amex and ask these things. I probably, I could do that too, but I was going to do it anyway. So I was like, oh, let's just test it. And Mika says, yeah, I don't know if it has to be business checking. My Amex checking earns 1 MR. Good point. I mean, that's a good point. So it's like, over the years, we used to say on YouTube, it's like, well, if you want to anchor your points, make sure you have a Blue Business Plus, right? It's a no annual fee in Cuba, but it doesn't look like that's necessarily needed, especially since Phil said your MR points through the checking accounts still have transfer partners. You could still transfer out. He transferred out to Air France. That's crazy. And I think I want to do a video on this at some point, but I think there's a real way to kind of like some people do with Chase, but kind of take advantage of the, in a good way, the Amex business checking account. Because very often they'll offer a deal of like deposit $5,000 and keep it there for 90 days or for 60 days. Do 5 transactions on like the debit card or just do ACH back and forth, and they'll give you 30,000 MR points. I've seen as high as 60,000. And I remember when I had the issue where I did not do that and I just never earned my 30K MR, which is stupid, but it was my procrastination. But I remember talking to the agent, they were like, well, you can just like open up another one under an EIN, if you have, a different EIN or just under a different, business or what have you. Cause I opened that one as sole prop. And so I was like, I was like, interesting. I was like, okay, so maybe there is a whole world where, maybe some of us are, not thinking about it, but, for everybody that has these 1 million ink cards, what's stopping us from also getting 1 million, Amex business checking accounts? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but, this is not to put ideas that anyone has, just me thinking out loud of just what's possible, So I was thinking about doing that. I was also thinking like, I was thinking if it came back around like 50K, I might take advantage, but we'll see. And I'll actually do it this time. DCG, Clark Kent, mild-mannered credit card. Yeah. I was just about to do an Elvis impression, but I'm like, that's Superman. That's not Elvis. What are we doing? Because I was like, thank you very much. So I'm the mild-mannered credit card YouTuber. Wow, that's good to know. I would love to know who's the not mild-mannered, who's like the crazy person. But thank you for that. Mika says, yeah. Kirby says, I have downgraded my Delta card twice. Love the game and to be able to squeeze Delta miles out of Amex for small amounts of spend. Wow, very cool. With no new application required. So interesting, definitely. Kirby says, need a wife for the player 2 cheat code. If you guys are unfamiliar too, Kirby, we did a video the other day, probably 2 videos ago if you watch, and he recounted his experience in the points and miles game and just how he's like taking advantage. It's great stuff. So if you want to check out Kirby, he's live in the flesh now. But yeah, we all need wives for player 2 cheat code. But I didn't realize this whole time I had a player 3. I had no idea until someone brought it up to me. I was like, Anthony, you actually have a player 3 in my brother-in-law that has been, he got an ink card. He got a Freedom Unlimited. Does he have a Freedom? Yeah, I think he has a Freedom Unlimited. He got an ink cash and he got a Sapphire Preferred. And actually kind of funny story. So when he applied for that ink cash, if this helps you guys, he actually put in the wrong numbers Like when he went to recon, so he got denied for the in cash, had numbers like income and business dates, whatever. Did recon, said the wrong numbers, went to the fraud department, overturned it, and he got approved. Same kind of thing happened recently. He applied for the Sapphire Preferred for the 100K offer. And again, he said like, well, we're reviewing the decision. And then he got sent to the fraud department again. I guess he gave him a couple of info. I still got to talk to him. He got a couple things of info. And then he got approved. He said on the phone, he was like, it seems like if they just transfer you to fraud, you just get auto approved, now that he's been doing that. So, he's taking advantage where he can. Filmo says, I will someday close some Amex cards and save millions in annual fees. Yeah, Filmo single-handedly is propping up American Express's bottom line. Like, it's kind of crazy, actually, because he is the CEO of Filmo. Actually, is Steven Square, the CEO of Amex. James, this is not Amex related, but do you think I should product change one of my City Custom Caches to the City Strata Premier? I mean, I wish I was a City expert like some folks in the Discord. From what I understand, well, I guess, yeah, if you have no other option to amplify your City points other than, transferring it to the CSP, then I would say, yeah, like if you already have a few, because you said one of them, so you have a few City Custom Caches, I'm assuming. So if that's the case, yeah, I mean, look, you're going to have access to more transfer partners. If those transfer partners are the ones that you need, then heck yeah, amplify those thank you points for sure by product change to the CSP, I would say, for sure. As far as a City layman, as myself, if anybody has any other thoughts on that, but I would say, yeah, I would personally. MR says travel to Eastern Europe, lots of nice ladies over there. Not there yet, buddy. When you get hungry enough, go for it. MR is always with the freaking memes. Filmo says, I will sell you 82. Sell me these 82 build points. Sell me. I mean, that's not bad. MR says, Hilton has their 2-for-1 points deal right now. I bought a bunch earlier this week. Yes, I actually was really considering it. Because I saw that there was availability. I gotta really check, but I saw there was availability for Hilton Lake Como, which Chad Money Minutes and a few others have noticed, like, one of the nicest Hiltons out there in Italy, but especially Lake Como. And I had a different hotel booked there with Hyatt points, but if it's still available, I was considering, because I'm just shy of like maybe 25,000 points, something like that. And my wife has a few. My wife has enough to actually, like, if I just transfer it over, I'll do it. But I was considering, just for the heck of it, just buy a little bit, because it's really not that bad, especially with the deal. Especially you're buying them at 0.5 cents per point right now with the double offer, as MR said. It also could just make for a good video, right? Just talk about it. But I was considering that, honestly. I all of a sudden, I'm just like all in Hilton again. I really thought I was going to move on to Marriott after I was done with Hyatt, but I'm just all in Hilton again. It's just, I think that's part of the game. It's like if you see some crazy offers that are coming out, like the Hilton free nights, and everything aligns, freaking, I'm going all in. I'm going to take advantage where I can. Obviously make Amex a little bit of money because I'm spending heavy on their Hilton cards, right? Ian says, so far Japan 2026 is 1.06. Okay, nice. So Ian's Japan 2026 trip, he spent 1.06 million points. Killing it. Absolutely killing it. Yeah. And I think I've overspent a little bit. Just a little. I think I've overspent a little, but I might move around some points and stuff. I might end up saving a little bit. I might end up spending. We'll see. But I hear you. It's actually been kind of fun to just go and it's a little more freeing, I feel, that I spent so many, because now it's like I got nothing to lose. I'm like not, I'm starting to build them back up again, but I got, from like a month ago, I had like nothing anywhere, but now it's good to start. If you have nothing to lose, you just go for it, right? So it's just my personal thought on it. Rodrigo says buying chase points at 1 cent per point is a good deal. I agree. Oh, damn, I'm super behind. Yeah, so I'm going to see. Well, he's not going to use them, so like he knows the cash out value, so I'm likely just going to like, hey, here's $2,500. Give me that 250K chase points. You know what I'm saying? Points. Philip says, I love my BPP, but put my fence on there and use 0% interest and got the points and the bonus. Very nice. Killing it. Absolutely killing it. Philmo has 2 BPPs. The second offer is 75K for 12K spend in 12 months. I mean, that's great. Yeah, I mean, if they can give me 12K for 12 months, and there's nothing else, I would highly likely take that offer, to be honest. Ian says the Chase Lounge at JFK is 300 times nicer than the Emirates Lounge. Whoa. Damn. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, that's a large, that's 3 orders of magnitude. That's crazy, Ian. Whoa. I mean, that's good to know. See, I'm just glad because I'm going to experience both. So I'm going to get there a little bit early. I still have to figure that out. Where am I staying? If I'm going to get there the day of, probably not. I'm going to get there the day before JFK. Head in there, hit up the Chase Lounge. That's good to know. The Chase Lounge is that much nicer. I mean, I was hoping the Emirates Lounge would be nicer, but I get it, so that's good to know. I'm gonna definitely take advantage of both. Members Mike, is this the earnings call? Happy Friday Eve all. It was. It was, and now we're here. Now it's my call. And it's yeah. Never mind. But yeah, it's happy Friday Eve. Yep. Kirby says it was covered early in the stream if you want. Oh yeah. Thank you. Don't be cruel. Kirby says our video together may have been the best video posted to YouTube. Unbiased, of course. Exactly. Kirby had like sick one-liners. He was like, for some people it's annoying. For me, it's an opportunity. Credits and stuff. Love it. Brandon, what's going on, Brandon? I just got 20K miles offer up to 4 additional card holders to add to my Delta Reserve with only 500 spent on each card for a total of 80,000 miles. Oh, wow. That's really freaking good. Yeah, 20,000 miles for just 500 spent. That's so easy money. Wow. That is really good. Huh. Interesting. That's interesting. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Look at that. Kirby hitting my blind spot. But you have to. Is it 175 for every additional card holder? Appreciate you, James. Take care, man. And Brandon says, yeah, not a big deal though, because I recoup so much flying and my additional card holders pay the fee for me. Oh yeah, look, if you could just issue a card and have them pay that 175, 20K is well worth it. I didn't actually know that. I never actually looked into additional card holders. What do you get with the additional card holders with the reserve? Do they also have access to lounges? Like, do they have Delta Sky Club and Centurion Lounge access to the authorized users? They should, right? That would be interesting. That would be kind of interesting to think about. And it's the same. So it's a little cheaper than the Platinum, huh? So it's $20 cheaper than the Platinum. Ian says, Grand Hotel Victoria is the only way at Lake O. Yeah, I think you said that, and a couple of people said that. I did look at it. It looked like it was sold out for my dates anyway. But I agree. It does look very nice, for sure. Brendan says, then when renewal comes up, downgrade to the Platinum with no fee. Wait a year or two. Rinse and repeat. Fun game to play. Killing it. Brendan's killing it. Deuce, I joined a little late. What's the latest Amex news? Honestly, it's kind of just more, I guess, even though we kind of figured it, it's just a little more direct clarity in stating that their roadmap is that basically every 4-year cycle, we're going to be refreshing cards. If that's true, then the Platinum gets refreshed in 2025 because it was 2017, 2021, 2025, right? So at least if nothing else, I just thought it was a fun thing to do. Just talk about the earnings call. It's a little different, but otherwise, just clarity on the roadmap that they are just going to continue on because it's working for them, right? Kirby says, isn't overspending if the trip is a blast and you make hella memories? Absolutely. Phil says, buying points is a great way to hit a sub if you need it. Yeah, true. It's definitely a world where, if you got like excess cash like that, you can buy however many thousand they'll let you dollars worth of Hilton points, hit the Hilton Surpass sub while buying points. That's great. That's great. I'm trying to reduce as many out of pocket costs as possible at the moment. Just for the hell of it. But then, just because we hit it with normal spend anyway. But 100% agreed. Absolutely. Amex made lots of money. Gen Z loves Gold Card, pretty much. Yeah. Another reason to hang out, reason to go live too. For the heck of it. He says Emirates Lounge is pretty dated. Interesting. Okay, good to know. Josh Jong tried LaGuardia Chase Lounge, not bad. Cool, very cool. He says 100% do the Chase Lounge first. Emirates Lounge for that flight is not open before the flight, so I think it opens 3 hours, maybe 2. Yeah, for sure. That's what I figured. It was like what is it, like 10 o'clock flight. So I was like, let's get there at like 4 or something like that, or whatever we're allowed, to get in there. So that would be that'll probably be my first Chase Lounge because I never had access otherwise. Now that I have the Ritz authorized user, for sure. Hell yeah, Mar, check that out. Ian says only worth it if you aren't paying the added fee. Yeah. Basically paying $175 for 15 Sky Club visits. Interesting. And Brandon says the platinum is free for an additional card holder. Interesting. Rich, hi all. What's going on, Rich? Rich is always killing it with his channel. Great stuff. Pumping out the volume. Delta Platinum, yeah. Amex is still for hip people. It's not really news. Absolutely. Kirby says, if the timing is right, I'm trying to wait as long as possible to get the CSP to get under 524 and drop 4K on a gaming PC. Yeah, you said, right? I think you're waiting till May, the end of May. And a lot of people have been asking me, people have been DMing and, private messages like, when do you think the CSP offer is going away? I'm like, I don't know. Who really knows? From history, what do we usually see? Like we see a little over a month or a couple months. Last time we saw 100K, it lasted for at most 2 months. I believe it came around November 2021 and it ended like January. Yeah, I think it was November to January in 2021. So if history repeats, then very likely can be done by, because when did we get it? Was it 2 weeks old now? Yeah, so it very likely could be good till June. Now that I think about it, probably good till June. That'd be good for sure. Okay. So hopefully you get that for sure. Brandon. Oh, and also you can apply for a Delta Amex Platinum, Delta Amex Reserve card, and you get Delta Silver medallion status. Gotten so many upgrades. Yeah, there will be a time in the future where I do that, where I just pay for silver, with the platinum or Delta Reserve, or just even 2 platinums, right? Get the 2,500 MQDs and get auto silver. Like, there's a real world where I want to play that game in the future as well, if we ever can amass. And you know what? I still have a lot of runway with Delta. Now that I think about it, I've only ever gotten the Delta Gold business. My wife and I both got that card, but I still have. I can get the blue, I can get the gold, the platinum, and the reserve on the personal side. So I probably, between me and her over the years, we'll probably have a few 100,000 Sky Miles to earn, or I guess between us two, like 500,000 to earn through welcome offers. So there'll definitely be a time where we just get that silver status, get some cool upgrades. That'd be fun. I don't know how, maybe a couple of years from now, we'll see. But, never know. Unless other things dry up. Ian says, so freaking Ian, man, he always knows. You should try the rooftop of the TWA hotel. So good plane spotting. So I have that literally. Did I get rid of it? I had it saved on my computer, one of these tabs. Yeah, I think I got rid of it, but I literally had that hotel saved. And I was looking at pricing. It was a little expensive. I was like, damn. I was like, it's like $300 a night, but I was like, it's an experience. And I liked it. Literally the rooftop pool overlooking the plains. I'm like, I got to do that, right? That's a great way to start. So I think likely I am going to book that. I was just looking at some other options, but you're right. 100%. That's the hotel. That seems to be really cool. Did you stay there, Ian? How was that? How was the experience? I'm guessing you did, but yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was like, it's like $300 for the night. But I was like, what are we gonna do? Especially since we don't even have to leave the airport. I don't really care to. We were gonna get there the day before, hopefully get there like around, afternoon, and then do the TWA and then just go down to the Chase Lounge when we want. So agreed. It's gonna be so much to do. It's gonna be crazy. Kirby says May 25th is the date, but maybe might be able to apply right before then, since May is the 24th month. Some weird data points going around. Yeah, some people say it could literally be the first day of the 24th month. Some people say it's the first day of the 25th month. They all get, people have conflicting thoughts on that, but seems to me that the 24 month is fine. But I get, playing it safe in some cases. Ian says, if you end up with the platinum before the trip, you could also try the speakeasy inside the Amex Lounge. It's right next to this. Really? Wasn't even aware of that. Good to know. I'll remember that. And then if I do it, I'll credit you, Ian. know how you feel about that. No, but that's really cool. Speakeasy, it's really, you know what? I'm gonna look that up. Let's see. MX here. I won't leave you guys hanging. We could do it all together. We could do it all together, everyone. MX Speakeasy. Yeah, JFK. Let's see here. What's NerdWallet got to say? Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that door. Okay. 1850 Speakeasy Bar. Really? Let's see. So the okay, blah blah blah. Couple things. Where's the Speakeasy man? Oh, look at that. Oh, Ian's right. Ian's right. Look at that, man. One of the coolest features of the Terrain Lounge in JFK's 1850 Speakeasy Bar. To get in, you need to go through a metal door. Once you're inside, you don't feel like you're in an airport lounge. With dark finishes, wood paneling, and private booths, 1850 feels like an authentic cocktail bar and could be anywhere. Wow, look at that. During the day, doubles as a cafe. Grab a cocktail, all those different things before your flight. Man, Equinox Body Lab. Hold on. Can we use our Equinox credit here? Can we use our Platinum Equinox credit? I thought I heard somebody actually said they got a massage, an Equinox massage, and it coded towards the Equinox credit. I was like, no way. But I thought I heard that once. Anybody have experience with like getting anything Equinox related other than like this, the membership, and it coding towards the Equinox credit, the $300? So that's cool. What is this? The Normetic compression boots to go over your legs and inflate based on your chosen resistance level. Wow, they do the whole, yeah. Anybody's got some leg issues, you know, that can help out for sure. Help the swelling. Space to relax. Look at that. We shoot a podcast in there, man. We'll set up the camera. Come on. That's good. That's good to know. Thank you for that, Ian. Very cool. So, I mean, hey, you never know. You never know. You never know where the world's going to take you. I'll never say never, right? You know, we'll say, you know, might get a platinum core by the time. Probably not, though. But it's, listen, for the experience, it might be worth it. If you can get into something cool, you never know. Acme Acres, what's going on, Mr. Acme? Hey, yo. Amor says, I stayed there during the height of the pandemic. It was creepy and amazing. Oh, wow. Just a bunch of jets just landed. When you're looking out over the rooftop pool. The Avenger says, I just got 32x miles on my glasses purchase using Capital One offers and Venture X. 16,000 miles for $500 glasses. Plus, I will get reimbursed the $500 on my health savings account, as that counts as a qualified medical expense. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, man. People have been ranting and raving about that. I'm so happy I have my venture card now because I'm really starting to look at the Capital One offers. It's like, these are pretty good freaking deals. So I've been looking around at that, and like, crazy offers like that. You know, like 32. Like, how did they even come up with that number? Like, let's see, what could we offer people to entice? Let's go 32. What about, you know, think about 20? No, let's do 32. Like, where did they come up with 32x miles? It must be some algorithm for that. But I mean, 16,000 miles. Like, if you're going to tell someone like, hey, I will buy, like Ian, you know about that. If you want to buy some Capital One miles, you know, would you pay $500 for those, you know, 16,000 miles? Some people, like, if it's possible, you would just buy the glasses even if you don't need them, right? Like, if it was possible to earn, like, to say, if I told you, here's $500 or here's 16,000 miles, you know, it's just $500, you would take that all day. You know, a lot of people would take that all day, I feel. You know, maybe not all day, but I feel like a lot of people can make, you know, better use of that, especially if it's even higher. You know, why not just, you know, and so I bet there's some cases with capital offers that they're so good that even if you don't need the thing, people will buy them anyway. Just, you know, just for that, especially since you're, so 16,000 miles for free, as well as tax savings on my capital gains on the health savings account. Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's a great arbitrage opportunity right there. The vendors. Phil says, I may do the TWA hotel before the PR meetup. Oh, hey man, listen, let's put it more on the map. Let's put it more. Even though people probably know about it, but I feel like I haven't heard it in this community. I was surprised I even found it. I forgot what I typed in. I was like rooftop. I think I just typed. Yeah, I think I just typed in. I don't know, just JFK hotel, and it was like the first thing. Brendan says, I'm flying into JFK in a couple weeks, so I may just head over to check out the hotel. Looks really cool. 100%, right? Yeah, I'll throw that up for the hell of it too. TWA hotel. Boom, boom, bam. I mean, that's, look at that. Celebrate the 60. No, we don't need the Twister. So here's yeah. Wait, so where's the actual? This whole site looks like it's like a I don't know, like a cartoon, like a kid's birthday party or something like that. Let me see some photos. Where's that rooftop pool picture? Come on, let's see. Okay, very cool. Okay, here's the, yeah. I mean, come on. No. All right, this is gonna be fast. So just look real quick. So you got the rooftop pool. Look at these flights. Oh my god, look at that room. I mean, come on, you got it. Now I know now the room will probably look like this. Maybe they will, but yeah, that might be worth it. Ian might be right. This is pretty cool. It's like the future. Look at that room. I mean, come on, I want to be standing right in there. This is kind of crazy. This is actually more crazy than I saw last time. All right, I might go buy it. I might go and pay cash, and get this because that's pretty freaking cool. Wow. It really is like looking at the future. What the heck? Wow. Let me just see that. Let me see that pool again. Yeah, come on, that's cool. Especially at that time, it'll still be hot, so that'll be wow. Yeah, that might be worth it. That might be worth it. He says, "Have not stayed there. I'm too cheap." But I agree. As experience, you make content. It's a fit. I think so. That's the thing. Like making content, you have a little bit of an advantage. It's like I can recoup a little bit, not that much, but I can recoup a little bit of the costs by making videos. Especially since that cash, since I'm even saying it now. Like I would be staying there specifically to make content. So that's a solid write off at the end of the year. $300 hotel stay, cash. And the video should make a couple dollars here and there. So you try to arbitrage where you can. What's your unfair advantage? Brandon says, anyone know which Delta Sky Club is the best at JFK, excluding Delta One? Not sure. I haven't been there yet. Ian says, so maybe we got people know. Ian says, I basically planned this European vacation 0 credit. I'll find the comments someday and frame it for you. Thanks. We'll make that happen. You know what, Ian? I'll take you up on the offer. Just remind me. If you can find the comment and frame it, I'll put it maybe not on the wall, but I'll put it like on the TV here. Be like, Ian helped me plan the entire European vacation because of the Emirates flight. Lonnie says, hey, V, what's going on, Lonnie? Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you, man. Kirby says, Capital Offers is a cheat code. Only Amex might rival it. Yeah, or like Rakuten or something, right? But I definitely want to take advantage. It's just we never buy like other things, Otherwise, we go to Publix, go to the butcher. Very rarely buy like random things. But that is. Oh no, I missed it. Where is it? That what Kirby said. That is what opened my eyes to it a little bit more. When we did our video together, he mentioned that for his Italy and Greece trip, he used Get Your Guide on Capital Offers. It went from 13% cash back. I used it 5 times. Next time I checked, it was 33 times miles. I think they are targeted, to be honest. Could be wrong. I'm like, I probably will 100% be looking at that for a lot of tours and stuff in Italy and actually some experiences in Puerto Rico as well. If they have it available. Take the 33x miles. What the heck? That's a slam dunk. That's amazing. So I really need to, start looking. Once I start doing that, I'm gonna start looking. But yeah, Kirby is the one that really opened my eyes to that. Emma says Delta Lounge JFK by the Chicken Shack was pretty packed. Interesting. Kirby says, I've had to call to get the cashback offers every time. A real hassle, but I've heard that when it is a points bonus, it happens instantly. Ian says, looking into the future, he likes to. I got to figure out your humor, Ian. I got to figure out what you like. Some of the funny things you like. So you like that. I have to think about that a little bit. It's like looking in the future. It's yeah, that hotel does look like that though. Emma says the rooms that face the runway are 100 extra per night. It's cool, but I don't know if it's worth. Oh, really? $450 a night, and they don't have breakfast or loyalty program. Last time I was there. $450 a night. That might be stretching. We're going to be doing so much. Is it worth it? It still might be worth it, but I don't know. I don't know. Uh it's times like this. I'm like, is there like a MasterCard offer out there or something I could do? Something, some way I can get that reimbursed. But it's, you know, I don't even know what is the write off on that amount. My accounting software usually says, I think that would be like what, a $70 write off at the end of the year. The video might make $30, so $100 off maybe. I don't know. It's hard arbitrage, but it might be worth it. Might be worth it for just to talk about it, right? At least for me. Avengers 34. I also get 30x miles on my vitamin purchases every 2 months using Capital One Offers. Avengers Capital One Offers has 20x miles offer on the Nature Made vitamins. Very cool. Very cool. That's great. God, stacking. Okay. Brandon says JFK is my layover. Heading to Orlando to check out Epic Universe before it opens to the general public. Whoa, wait, hold on a second. How are you getting in before the general public? What's so special about you, Brandon? I mean, is this something we gotta, is this something we gotta talk about? What's the deal? How you getting into Epic Universe? I know Lonnie wants to get in Epic Universe, right? I'm pretty sure he talked about that. Points Phillips said, I heard the advanced tickets were open to holders of the Universal card. Whoa, do you have the Universal card, Brandon? Hey, man. Yeah, listen, friends in high places. Venture is the best point earning credit card. Very cool. Dex says, I missed it. What did Epic say? Rah. I mean, it's nothing that we don't already know, Dex. For the most part, they're just going to continue refreshing for years and years to come. And that's their roadmap every 4 years, something like that. So it's just going to constantly happen. Kirby says, I don't see that cashback off. It's open to the public now. Does look very cute to get inside the ministry. Interesting. It's funny because it's not the future. It's the it's the what? It's the what? You're gonna leave me hanging there. So Brandon has the Universal card. Found out all the dates are already sold out. So now it's either wait and see if any open up, or get annual pass for stay at Universal Hotel. Interesting. I'm so uncool. I have no idea what Epic Universe is. I mean, look. If you don't, you don't know what Epic Universe is. I mean, are you actually even living? Epic Universe. To be honest, I don't even actually know what the hell Epic Universe is too. I think it's multiple. So this is the Epic Universe, right? So it's everything together. So we have the How to Train Your Dragon, Harry Potter, Dark Universe, Super Nintendo World. So what's the deal? Is Universal really like coming back? I've had the very controversial viewpoint that it kind of went downhill as opposed to like the 2010s when I went, and or even before that actually. And the only thing worth seeing is the ET ride. I know Ian gets really pissed about this, but I love the ET ride. I think Harry Potter Diagon Alley was cool, but I don't know. I feel like this is pretty cool. I would like to see the How to Train Your Dragon. We liked watching those movies. Love our Mario, right? I don't know. I don't really care for Harry Potter or whatever else, but I mean, look, that's pretty cool. I might end up there because I literally have a Hilton timeshare right now booked. Well, not booked, I should say. It's paid for Orlando. We'll see if we can make it happen. But if so, I'll book a Hilton timeshare in Orlando, and I'll go hang out in the Dark Universe like this, or Epic Universe. So, hey, I might do it. I might do it just for that. It's this ET right, this guy. Oh my goodness. You hate that. ET ride's good, man. It's a little scary too. Phil said I lost a contact lens on that ET ride in 1998. I must have seen it. It's probably still down there. But in 1998, it was a little bit different. Back then, they didn't have like the many different bikes. They just had the single bikes, right? I think you had a single, or like it was a double or something, tandem. And then you go up there and you're like, 10 feet in the air, but it looks like you're thousands of feet because they put the small city down there. But it's pretty still high up. Like some people are like, oh, look at the house is like 1,000 feet down. They're so scared. But I'm like, if you look at the wall, I saw there's like a little corner of the wall in the ET ride. And this is really nuanced, but there's a little corner. And I looked at it. I was like, I could see the light difference between the two. I was like, and then I was looking at that in reference to the house. I'm like, that's like 15 feet off the ground. That's pretty high up. Like if we fell, we wouldn't be all right. But But I think those rides are scarier back then, right? They didn't have, it was like the one bike and it was like a little wobbly. But now they have like the row of bikes, because consumerism and all. Gotta get more people. So there's like 10, like 8 in a row or something like that. 8 bikes. Phil has no idea. Yes, universal expansion in Florida. Very cool. Dex says, did they announce any Amex plat changes? My feet just renewed. Now I'm eating grass and dirt. Dex, you should not be having to resort to soil for some of your sustenance if because you have to pay that $700 annual fee. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. I mean, it might be worth it, but look, as a wise man once said, Sledge, you can't eat your points and miles. So like if you have to resort to soil and become like a bottom feeder just because you have to pay that 700, I say that's not worth it. Maybe I'm a little bit crazy, a little bit extreme in my viewpoints, but it might not be worth it for you, Tex. But no, they didn't announce any Amex Platinum changes. The only thing is clarity on, okay, roadmap for the future every 4 years for our refreshes. We're still in the middle of refreshes. It's all going well. Doesn't matter what the economy is doing. We're going to keep refreshing. And if they do follow that same 4-year cycle trajectory, we said that the Amex Platinum card got refreshed in 2017, went from $450 to $550 annual fee. In 2021, it went from $550 annual fee to $695. It is now 4 years later in 2025, and it's anybody's guess. It's anybody's guess for what's going to happen. Some people have said that's not going to happen. Some people say it's going to happen. Some people are like, I have an inside man that's not going to happen. But then some people say the opposite. So, who really knows? But I wouldn't be resorted to eating soil like you're just a little worm. No, do what I did. Downgrade to the. Go for it. Downgrade to the gold, and then go to the green. And then if you still haven't had enough, go to the traditional green, so long as you have some sort of anchor for your MR points. Wait a second. James said, with that hairstyle, you look like Jor-El. Who's that? Oh. All right, I could see it. You're right. You're right. You happy? You're right, James. I do look like Jor-El. Unbelievable. Everybody's always making fun of my hair lately. All of a sudden, I've been on YouTube for years. All of a sudden, now I'm hitting people talking about the hair. It's like, oh, Superman, Jor-El. Now I have Jor-El. Appreciate it. Kirby says, why go to the amusement park when I can use my welcome offers to go to the casino and win generational wealth? I mean, literally, we're all playing the game wrong. There's no reason why we should be booking millions of points for these vacations. We should just be cashing them out for 10 grand, put it all on red, see what happens. The worst that happens is we get a nice comp. The worst that happens, we have a nice comp and a beer on the house. That's what we have to be doing. Emma says, so it's outdoor activities for indoor kids. Yeah, it's pretty much. I would say so. Yeah. Which I'm down. I'm down to go there. And so, Philmo, he lost his contact and he had to buy new ones at the glass on my glasses at the mall, my honeymoon. Wow. I remember malls, the good old days. Oh my goodness. And here we go. Kirby is another one. Why go to the amusement park when I can use my Capital One checking account bonus to go to the Cincy Casino and win generational? Again, you're right. You're absolutely right. Daniel, what are they doing to my platinum card, Anthony? Daniel, me and him actually had a great conversation. He also has an interesting story to tell, which I still have to work on the video, put it out there. But so far, I don't think anybody's still clear on it. But based on all the language, we're like, okay, there might be a refresh this year. We'll see. They're still planning to refresh things. Did they say platinum directly? No. So I think your precious platinum. I think it's safe for now. Honestly, I personally do think, just speaking from my own intuition, I don't think we're gonna get a platinum refresh in 2025. I just don't feel like we are. Intuitively, no real data points, but in my body, I feel like we're not. But I could be wrong. You never know. Without hesitation and without an apology, they will do it. Mike says, "How are you, Anthony? What's going on, man? I know you enjoy your timeshares. What do you think about that 75K Hilton Honors Points offer? I think it's great. I took it. I actually took advantage of it. So I did do the 75K offer. I have it this month, or no, next month, going over to Hilton Head, and so I'm going to do the timeshare, get the 75K points, and then I have another one that I paid for my wife, 100K offer that hopefully they don't find out about, and then we can book that out for the future as well. So I think it's great. 75, I think anything above 50K, like 75 and above, is kind of worth the time, personally. 50 could be okay, but I think 75K and above is kind of where it's at for the whole thing. But unless you're gonna like travel to that destination anyway and you want a cheap stay, yeah, I mean, I'm good with that too. I'm good with 50K, to enjoy a cheap stay. Also, just know that when you get there, they'll have other offers available usually. So like, even though if you get a subpar offer like 50K now, when you get there, usually they'll try to retarget you for another one. So and those are usually higher because you're in person, you're like a qualified lead. So like, it's very possible you get 50K today. When you get there, they'll give you another offer, since you could do 2 per year, where they give you like a 100K offer, something like that. So it could be worth it. Ian says, I've been eating dirt and gold shavings for a month now. 1.5 million points, though. Ian, you're changing a lot of minds out there with your whole gold game for sure. 100%. You got me thinking about it. You never know. But yeah, I hear you. You got to eat the gold shavings. It's the only way to sustain. We got to have these annual fees. Got to have these cards. Rich says, which card do you want refreshed? And I'll do a video about it. And they'll refresh it the very next day. I have a track record. Oh, really? Is that a thing? I haven't been aware. How many was this in a row for? Was this like for Hilton and Delta? Did you like make a video following day, completely refreshed? So let's see. Which card do I want to be refreshed? Well, if I'm speaking selfishly, I do want the platinum card to refresh because I don't have it right now, and I would like to sit on the sidelines and I can make a good video from it. So, a reaction video to it. So otherwise, that would be the card I want refreshed. Otherwise, I don't. I mean, the green would be cool, just to see what happens. But hell yeah, listen, make a video. Maybe you could be the inverse, like Kramer of this universe, like. Rich is like, this is a card that's going to be great for many, many years to come. The following day, ruined. Oh god, that's funny. Dex says, I was kidding. I know you're not actually eating dirt. Dex, I know you're not actually. Come on. I said it because the Blackbird from the Angry Birds movie said, I eat dirt. I'm still waiting on the Billet revamp. Oh, really? I didn't even see that movie. Anybody seen the Minecraft movie? I've seen a lot of crazy videos, like people throwing popcorn and stuff. What's going on with that? We might go see it. But no, I hope you're not actually eating soil. It's bad for your health. Comes real stealth. No, I hope you're actually thriving. But I hear this. As soon as the Amex Gold hit 325, I was like, it's not going to happen. Mortgage has to get paid, right? And so I'm pretty sure Jarrell is a rapper. Jarrell. You mean Pharrell? I don't know. Is Jarrell actually a rapper? She's like Superman's father, really? Okay. Ella, James says, it looks good. I'm bald, so I'm jealous. LOL. Hey, man, look. If you're bald, I got a wig right there for you. A Joe Beretta wig sitting right there if you need it. I got you covered. It's always there. Rich said there's been 3 now. Whoa. That's crazy. Crazy. That's actually crazy time. Yeah, you might be the inverse of the community. I'm gonna have to remember that. Green needs it. Yeah, that'd be fun. It'd be fun. Ninja, what's going on, man? Ninja's killing it. Life Ninja. Side topic, maybe we could DM, but what's your thoughts on MSTY? What are your thoughts on that? Not to derail anything, but what are your thoughts on that? I've been looking into it, talk to some of my, some people. I'm like, that's pretty interesting. Artie says, can you stay? So you can stay at the Conrad Bangkok with 150,000 Hilton points for T days. How many? Is that what's next to the T button? The 5? Is that 5 days? Is it really that cheap? The Conrad Bangkok, really? Hold on, let's see. I mean, hey, we can, let's try it out. Amnesty for casual. I have thoughts. We'll chat offline. James, right? I'll take it. All right, Ninja for sure. I'll take it, James. All right. So I got. Listen, you got to take it, man. Take the wig. All right. Let's see. Let's go to Hilton. Let's see this Conrad Bangkok. I'll probably leave in the next, I would say 5-10 minutes. Yeah, we'll go to 6 o'clock and then I'll have to end because I gotta go run to pick up the wife. So if you guys have anything else, the next 5, let me know. So let's see here. Let's go to, is that how you spell it? That's not how oh, it's, yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Let's see, let's go to Bangkok. Where's the Conrad at? Let's filter by, I'm showing this, right? Yeah. Points. Where's the brands? Give me the Conrad. How many could this be? 40,000 a night. Whoa. I'm sure you've seen cheaper, huh? I'm sure you saw one that was like, what, 25K somehow. But that's crazy. A Conrad for 40K. That looks pretty crazy. Is this legit? Anybody stay here? Whoa. It's pretty cool. Huh. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean 5 nights. 5 nights. That's only I guess 5 nights. Yeah. Fifth night free. It's only 150 or 160,000 points. Yeah, so look, you can do 5 nights there. You're right. You're right. Maybe we'll have to do it. That'll be cool. One day. I'm sure one day. I knew somebody. I was waiting on it. And says you do not want to spend 5 days in Bangkok. That place is wild. Way too much going on. You might get into the Friday and Sixes big bong shows. Oh my goodness. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That is so funny. That is so funny. But we love ping pong. Yeah. And the ping pong shows. Jesus Christ. I've been waiting for the business screen refresh. Oh, if the business screen does a refresh, maybe even I will make a video on it. Wow. Filmo says the worst card has gotten worse. That'd be, that'd be funny. Yeah, veterans, I figured. Oh God. I know of a few people who would enjoy 5 days in that hotel, but we don't really know who those, we won't speak of those people. I don't even know who I'm thinking about, to be honest, but 199 with no credits. That's great. That's great. Phil says at the camera, how do we always end up in debauchery? Always, every time. Christian, a little bit of innocence here. I'm pretty new to the credit card game, but I just want to come and say thank you for all the helpful. Wow, thank you, Christian. That means a lot to come hang out, spend a little bit of your time to come hang out, and to say that much appreciated. Well, congrats. Welcome to the credit card game. I hope it's very fruitful for you. I hope you go on a lot of great vacations. That's great. Appreciate you, man. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. What time? 57. Okay. So I think we'll probably call it there. And a little bit shorter. I will be live again this Saturday night. I need to be a little bit more regular on that. Just usually I won't go live unless it's like an actual topic to talk about. But so I think we have a good topic for that one. So I'll be live Saturday 9 Eastern Standard Time. That'll be fun. A little hangout. But thanks for everybody who came out today. I mean, technically we had a record numbers today. I don't know if it was because of the things I was saying or if it was just the topic. Like, this is what Amex said about refreshing. Probably just the topic. But we had like 160 people in here at one point. That's like the most I've ever had. So it really means a lot that everybody would come hang out at 4 or 5 o'clock whenever we started on a Thursday. I mean, what the heck? You guys are awesome. Very, very much appreciated for all of your time. Giving me your time today. Hopefully it was valuable to you. Kirby says, don't forget to like and video and sub to AV. This can have higher self-esteem. There could be no bigger head than the one that's on the screen right here. So with that said, once again, appreciate you all for being here. Enjoy, have fun, be safe tonight. Keep traveling, eat some good food, have some good times, happy times with everybody in your family, and just keep having fun. So take care, everyone. Enjoy, and just take care. All right. See you guys Saturday.